And do you remember any specific films that really stood out of the bunch?
Yeah, Halloween is very good. I loved Halloween.
I have not watched it, but I've heard of it. I've seen a trailer. Okay, let's get to know more about you with a few of Spillet's just curious questions. And who do you consider to be your acting role model?
I mean, fantastic actresses like Margot Robbie and Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
Julia Roberts, I love her. And Reese Witherspoon, I think, who I feel like she is so sort of effortlessly good that sometimes she kind of flies under the radar. Like you don't notice that she's brilliant, but she's great. And she's also kind of diversifying and doing things. I know she's got a Netflix show that she's doing, and she's talking to sort of influential people. And I really I love that, because I'm sort of interested in that, being diverse and doing different things outside acting.
What profession other than acting would you like to attempt?
Well, I would like to be a lawyer. Ooh. But I think also they have a lot of performer in them, don't they? Because they're up in the court performing and telling a story. So I think it kind of would fit in well with the actor.
I definitely think it would work. Because, like, I guess the point of, like, lawyer, and again, don't quote me on this, I'm not a lawyer, but it's kind of, you want to sell the case. You want to kind of sell the facts. You want to prove that this is what happened. So, yeah, definitely. I think that acting is a little bit of a part of the law. And what do you think your unique skill or skills are that have helped you become successful?
Do you know, I think this is such an important but also really difficult question, because I don't know, it's not easy to step outside yourself and look objectively and say, oh, that's what I'm good at, or I think that's really difficult. So I'm going to go by something that an acting teacher told me once, a very long time ago. I was auditioning for a job, and there was another girl going for it, and I really wanted the job, but I didn't have enough confidence, and I felt like she was going to get the job. And the acting teacher said to me, what's special and unique about you is that you are vulnerable. You have vulnerability that kind of comes out. She said, you know, that other girl doesn't have so much of that vulnerability. And that's your unique selling point, is that I kind of have that vulnerability about me.
And if you were a type of food, what type of food would you be?
This is like, right, do I choose a food that I want to eat, or do I try and think of my personality? I think I would be a Ferrero Rocher. Do you know what that is?
Oh, yes. I can't eat them, but...
Are you allergic to nuts?
No, I have, I'm a celiac. I'm allergic to wheat flour and like barley and stuff, and I stick that in the chocolate, so.
No,
or it might be the filling,
annoying.
But
yeah, it might be there. So that's annoying, because they are good, but that's what I would choose, because on the outside, it's sort of hard and confident, and you might think I'm super confident, but actually then I've got this little squishy layer on the inside, and then in the middle I'm basically a total nut. So that's that's why I'm a Ferrero Rocher.
And where's your favorite place in the world?
You know, there's this seaside town called North Berwick, which is on the east coast of Scotland, and I have been there nearly every summer of my life. And now I take my family there, and I just love it. It kind of reminds me of being a kid and being carefree, and it's just beautiful by the water. Like, it's just so lovely. And we spent the summer there. You know, we spend a week or two there every summer, and we were there again this summer. And just like the sunsets are beautiful, and it's just a place where everything's just slow for me.
Yeah, it sounds beautiful. And if you could travel to any two places in the world, where would they be? Okay,
so at the moment we are waiting a few years, because I've got a little one who's too little, but in a few years we are going to Disney World. That is
my goodness.
In Florida. Yes. That is our next thing. The kids are desperate to go there, but I've got the little one's 3, so she needs to get a bit older before we go. So Disney World. And where else would I go? I haven't been to like Japan or China over there.
Oh my gosh, yes. Yes.
So yeah, I would love to go there.
I remember going to Disneyland a few years ago. It was so sad because now I'm tall enough to ride every ride there. But when we went, I was only like 7. And so I could only go on half the rides. And so my sister, there was like a few that my sister had to go on alone because she's 25 now. And so she was long tall enough. And so there was a few where I just had to wait down with my mom and wait for my sister to get back. Yeah, it was kind of sad. I am going to say this. Definitely also go to Universal. Like maybe do both for a day. That's what we did. It's great, really fun. There's like also Marvel rides you can go on. Some of them have music on them. Yeah. Couldn't go on either of those ones because it was too small, but still.
Yeah, and that's such a shame. So you'll have to go back.
If you ever come to Canada, you have to go to Canada's Wonderland. It's awesome. Yes. Okay. It's a huge theme park and it's amazing. They have like all the tall rides. Again, last time I went, I was too short, but they also have like a ladder climb you climb up, and if you hit the buzzer, you get a giant prize. And I have a Pikachu stuffy now that is about 4 feet tall. So,
and then you have to carry that around the park for the whole day.
Exactly. And the problem was I did it like almost right at the beginning.
No.
But I was too short to carry it, so my mom got that pleasure. Yeah, it was great. Yeah.
Moms always get that. That's a big thing to carry around.
This is a strange question, but what do you think about when you're alone in the car?
So firstly, it's quite rare that I am alone in the car with the kids. There's usually somebody in the back. But if I'm alone in the car, I tell you this, I'm not thinking it very much because I'm probably blasting the music so loud. It's probably completely inappropriate with like rude words. It's maybe, I think in the moment it's Kanye West. Windows are down. So I'm probably thinking, right, who's laughing at me in the other car? Is like, oh, look at that mum in her family car with her car seats in the back. She's obviously got an hour to herself.
Yep, exactly. I mean, maximize it. It. And what's the funniest thing that's happened to you recently?
Do you know, we are just like, in this house, there is always something ridiculous happening. So whether that's like spilling things or getting hit in the eye with a bouncy ball, this is just my life, you know? So yeah, but you know, last week we went shopping. I went to the supermarket, had the kids, got all the stuff in the car, kids in the car, driving away, and people are sort of indicating to me, and I'm like, hey, I thought they were being rude about my driving. So I'm like, hey, I'm a good driver, don't be rude about my driving. I carry on. People are still indicating. I'm like, okay, what's happening? I'd left my handbag on the roof. So there was nothing wrong with my driving. Just my forgetfulness.
Oh my god. Okay, you're lucky though it didn't fall off. My dad once left his phone in the car. We drove off and then he's like, where's my phone? We drove back and it landed in a pothole and was completely cracked.
No.
Yeah, it still worked though. It still worked. It was completely shattered, but it worked.
But it worked. Good.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Sorry, all I see is just people on the sidewalk going,
yeah. I know, and I'm thinking, why are you being so rude? I am a good driver.
How did acting change your life?
You know, because I was so young when it started. I guess I don't know what life would have been like otherwise, but I feel like it's opened up so many opportunities for me just to have experiences, but to just meet so many different people and to work in a different place and to feel creative and passionate. And it's just been I feel so lucky that I get to do that, because I feel like I do something I love every day. That is, you know, and that, I think that's something to be grateful for.
Well, and that's also what they say is when you love what you do, it's not work.
Absolutely. And it's funny, there was a famous actor, I don't know who it was, but a famous actor said, they don't pay me to act, they pay me for the waiting around. You know, so because on a film set you're waiting around for so long, you know. So yeah, you can do it for free, right? We just get paid for the rubbish bits. Exactly.
What advice do you have for an artist who wants to break into acting?
I think it's probably important to study somewhere, to learn your craft. Now that doesn't have to be at a drama school, because that isn't accessible for everyone, but it might be online workshops or drama classes that are locally, or reading and researching books. I think it's just finding out about the world that you want to be in. Yeah, and kind of learning from maybe other people who've done it.
Yeah, definitely.
And if possible, if you can get a mentor, that's amazing. I've never had like a long-term mentor. I've had like mentors as I've gone along. So it doesn't have to be like a mentor for life, but if you have someone who can kind of guide you a bit, it just gives you that little head start, I think, and just someone to ask questions and to bounce off of.
Do you have any final words of wisdom you'd like to leave our audience with?
Your self-worth and your value is not defined by whether or not you get an acting job. And sometimes I think that we can feel we are not good enough because we didn't get that acting job. And that's just not true.
Yeah.
And just because you are not an actor who's in Hollywood, it does not mean you are not valuable and that you can't contribute and be creative and do shows in your living room. You are absolutely entitled to be creative and to put your brain out there and your skills and your creativity out there, regardless of whether you are in a Hollywood film. Where can our viewers find you? I'm on Instagram. I'm quite active on Instagram at Lorna_Craig_. And I'm on Twitter, but I don't do a lot of tweeting. I might move over there, but I'm definitely on Instagram. You can find me there. Fantastic. Thank you so much for being ready to spill it with us, Lorna. I really appreciate you taking the time to be here with us today. Thank you so much. I have loved it. I've loved chatting to you. Thank you. And it's been great fun. So thank you. Thank you so much.